And, okay, sharing screen meetings. All right, so let's yeah, hopefully you went all the way through the lesson 7 and actually listened to it instead of just scrubbing to the end and copying things. Just to reiterate, make sure you are doing the, wow, that's slow. Make sure you're doing all of the practices, well, from lesson 7. It's easy to just go through the rhythms of doing the first one, running it, hitting finish, and having it take you to the check for understanding and have all your bubbles green. In case some of you have probably figured out that I'm not grading things by looking if your bubbles are green. Okay. There are a handful of people in every class, like maybe 4 or 5 people in every class, that are just hitting run and finish, run and finish, run and finish, have all green dots and 0 of the work done. So I don't know if that's to make yourself feel good or to like check to see if I'm actually checking things, but I mean, it's the same as not making the bubbles green if you don't do the work. So there's that. All right, so lesson 8 is a single complex app that we are going to try and recreate. So it is a ticket generator app where you put in the day of the week, you put in the age of the person, you type in a discount code if you have one, and hit create my ticket. And I don't think there are any sound effects. I probably haven't muted, but you know how I feel about sound effects. And the output is a essentially the 2 inputs and a particular price. Okay, I'm pretty sure it tells what, I didn't mean to click on that. And yep, so 10, and then free Friday. Clearly we're going to have a compound situation where we're checking for day of the week and that sort of thing. And let's see what they give us on bubble 2. And bubble 2, yeah, there we go. And work from there. All right, so it looks like there is only one event handler, and they've got a good layout here. Do we have some sort of we don't have a, did they give us a logic table for price and age? Okay, so let's figure out what it's actually supposed to be. We'll come back to it. And 18 or younger, and Monday through Friday it's $5. So maybe weekend's different. Weekend is $10. And let's go over 18. Weekday is $10 and weekend is also $10. Are we supposed to go through and figure out what the logic is? I mean, as long as we have something that's different, does it ever go to 15? Okay, so it looks like if it's a weekend, it doesn't matter your age. It's always going to be $10. Whether it's Saturday or Sunday, it's $10. Then if it's not a weekend, your age matters. Under, and it looks like 18, yep, 18 and under are $5, and weekday over 18 is $10. And then there's free Friday, which if it's not Friday, doesn't matter. If it is Friday, $0 for over 18 and $0. Okay. So we have 3 different situations to check: day of the week, age, and discount code. And there are a lot of ways to check this. Well, first, let's go through and set up our framework, and then we'll figure out what our like series of if else's. All right, so we need variables. We need some global variables. Let's do they give us, let's see, do we have, okay, so we have day drop down with day of the week, all initial caps, and they've already given us all the integers up to 90, which is fine. So we need variables for, what just happened here? Variables for day of the week, age, discount code, and then just to simplify things, we will create one and use one as an output. And let's have one for output price and one for output text. So let's go here. We'll call the first one day input, and we don't know anything yet, so let's just make it an empty string. Let's remember, these are all vars. Let's have age input, and this is going to be a number, so we'll just make it 0. Discount code, code input, that's going to be a word, so we'll make it an empty string. And out price out, whatever, price out is going to be a number, and output text is going to be a string. We actually technically don't need to initialize these with numbers or strings, but I don't know, I think it makes it a little clearer what's going on. All right, so the order of everything is always going to be update the variables, run your conditional, and then do the output. So what are the things we need to update? We need to update and get all of these, all of the inputs. Okay, so it's going to be, we need to get the day input, that's going to need to get text, get the age input, that's going to be a get number, and code input is going to be another text. And all of these updates are assign a variable, not declare. We are reassigning the 3 variables that are the 3 input variables. So day input, age input, and code input. And let's use some get. Get text is going to be, or day input is get text, and this is called day drop down. And age is a get number, and this drop down is called age drop down. I suppose technically this could be a get text because we're not doing, oh no, we are doing arithmetic. We're doing logical greater than and less than, so we do need this to be a number. And then discount code is a get text, and it's probably called discount input. Oh wait, let's see what it's actually called. Yeah, discount input. Get text of discount input. All right, so now we have our 3 inputs. We need to figure out what our logic is. Our condition is we want to have the most specific case first. Hey guys, this is going to be like another 10 minutes max. So well, the discount code and day of the week will make it 0 if it's free Friday. So we could check for that because that ignores age. Then we could check for weekend because that ignores age also. And if we check for weekend and it doesn't get past, and it gets past that check, that else if, we know it's a weekday, and then we can just check for age. Okay, and we are using a if else situation because we want an output. We're only going to have a single output based on whatever our logic is, and we want to have an output. That's why we're going to end in an else. This is not a conditional where there's some way that we want to get through with nothing running. And all of these outputs are going to set a different price. So regardless, that is the point of this. We want price and price and price. Okay, so the first condition is discount code or code input is free Friday. Do we have to uppercase? It's there is I think it's called a method, but it's a API function, a built-in app lab thing called toUppercase, and it will take any text and turn it to all uppercase, whether it is uppercase or not, which is a useful tool to allow the user to not have case sensitivity. So they could type in free Friday as all lowercase, free Friday as, can I drag across? That would be crazy. We're not going to do it now. We're just going to hope the user types in case sensitivity. But that's our first thing we're going to check. Okay, if, what did I even call it? Code input. If code input double equals, and this is in quotes, all caps, free Friday, and double ampersand, day input, day input, and that's in, oh no, day input is not in quotes, that's the name of our variable. Day input double equals Friday with initial caps, because that's how it's spelled in the dropdown. What is the price? The price is 0. Okay, next we're going to check if it's a weekend. Okay, how do we check if it's a weekend? Well, we could do not a weekday. We could check, this is going to be an or, I suppose. Because it's if day is Saturday, or day double equals Saturday, or day double equals Sunday. That's the easiest way. This is an or. It is important to check. A lot of times you think or, but it's really an and. It's easy to read a sentence or read a condition that, like in English, written out or spoken, is an or situation, but the logic is actually an and. Like when we were doing a range of numbers where you have greater than, the age needs to be, can't be less than a certain number or greater than another number. It's really an and checking the other direction. But that's, again, neither here nor there. So we need to check if it's a weekend. And if it's a weekend, day input, double equal day input, double equals Saturday, or, which is shift backslash the vertical bar. And this is an easy way to mess up, where you say day, if day input is Saturday or Sunday. Okay, this is not correct. This will not work. You need to ask the question again. If day input is Saturday, or if day input double equals Sunday. And if it's a weekend, the age doesn't matter. It's just $10. And we actually do need another else if. So the other condition is, if it's a weekday, the age matters. And that is the age, if it's a weekday and the age is 18 or under, it's $5. Otherwise, it's $10. So we don't need to check for weekday, because we know that if this second else if the second condition is false, it's a weekday. It's already anything below this line, whatever we're checking for, it's a weekday. We already know that, because if this is true, it will run what's in there and ignore everything else. It will block it from going further. So we know it's a weekday, so now we just need to check if the age is 18 or under. So else if age input is less than or equal to 18. So on weekdays, 18 and under, price is 5. Otherwise, price is 10. And you could do this a few ways. You could check these things in other orders, like checking if day input is Monday or if day input is Tuesday, and so on. It gets a little wordy. That's fine, but the way I'm showing you, I think, is probably the shortest way. And did I not price input? Well, price output, excuse me. I called this price output, although I probably could have just changed it at where I declared it, but that's fine. Okay, so what do we have? We have a price. We need to create our output text, which we already have declared the variable. And the truth is, all of these could be local variables and just get text each time, because a local variable is fine if every time you use it, you are completely erasing any previous knowledge of it, which would be the case if in this, because the only thing, but it is good to get used to seeing global variables at the top. And like, it's sort of a programming meme where, like, if all your variables are global, you will not have any scope issues. It's true. If you just make every variable a global variable, you kind of don't have to worry about it. But might not be the prettiest code. So either way, we need to create our, what do you call it? Output text or out text, whatever you want to call it. And our output text is going to be our long concatenation of some phrases in quotes concatenated with the various variables. Okay, so I forget what it already is. It's day. So let's do our string day, colon, and a space inside the quotes, concatenated with day input. Okay, and then these are just repeating what the user has, which is, I would say, kind of pointless since it's already on the screen. And they also put it in, but that's fine. Then we want the next thing to be on another line, so we're going to do \n inside the quotes, followed by age. We don't need a space there. We colon, a space inside the quotes, close the quotes, concat it with age input. And I'll switch this. I'll probably switch it to text mode. I think it's a little easier to read at this point. Maybe zoom in and close this and close that. And okay, followed by age input. And then concat on it a new string \n for the next line, followed by price, colon, and space inside the quotes, concatenated with price out. Okay, so we have all of our strings in their own quotes, double checking to see that you have a matching quotation, concatenated with the name of our variables, not in quotes. And every one of the new strings, except for the first one, starts with a \n to make it on a new line. And now we have a output text, which, just for good practice, let's console log out text. And let's run it. There we go. Day, age, price, Monday, and over 18. Price should be 10. Let's put a $sign in there. That's an easy improvement. Let's try weekend. 10, weekend, under, and Friday. Free Friday. There we go. Okay, so again, the only improvement at this point would be to add a $sign inside, just inside the string there, so that it will be attached right there. Let's try again. And there we go. So now we just need to have it post over here. And this area is called ticket output. So we just need to do a set text. Set text of ticket output. And we want to set it to out text, not in quotes. Okay. I know some people just sort of space out and look up and type things. I don't know what you can do about that. But when I say things like this is a common mistake, that's like an extra reminder to focus. This is a common mistake that I still see in whatever you guys are learning. I'm not upset. Putting things in quotes that shouldn't be in quotes. Okay. Out text is the name of our variable. We don't want out text literally to be typed there. We want the contents of our shoebox called out text. And the content of our shoebox is this long concatenation of whatever it should be. And I think that is it. If you're interested in the two uppercase thing to avoid case sensitivity. This is at this point optional. Let me see if I can figure out what the actual syntax is. And the syntax is dot to uppercase open close parentheses, which we don't have access to that block at this point. But I'll show you what it looks like. You can, if you are interested in extending your experience at this point, it's not that hard to type in. It is to uppercase, which why can I not? Let's why will not let me drag in console log. Okay, so it's whatever you want it to type out, followed by dot lowercase to uppercase initial cap open close parentheses. This is its own function. It is an API function. It is a built-in function that AppLab has, and str just means string. Whatever string you have, you can turn it into all uppercase or lowercase, obviously, and that allows you to avoid case sensitivity, which we can do. Okay, so code input they're putting in, it's whatever they type. We can test this console log code input. Okay, so we type in, this is just a test. We're going to have a console log. Okay, code input prints out that. I'm going to get rid of this console log for a second. Okay, so code input prints out whatever I type in, all lowercase. If I do code input, and this isn't solving the problem, this is just showing you what's happening. Dot lowercase 2, capital U, capital C, open close parentheses. Now when I do it and type in all lowercase, it will give me all uppercase. That way I can do, instead of code input get text, I can do then code input, and you could do it in one line, but that's fine. Code input gets code input dot T to uppercase, open close parentheses. So it's getting itself whatever it is here, and now we are reassigning to whatever it used to be dot to uppercase. And technically you could do it on this line, I think, dot to uppercase, but hold on, does it give us that to? Hey, it does give us that. Interesting. So in text mode, it will give it to you. You can do it on the same line as the get input, but we don't need to. I want to show you what it looks like. So now if so before, let's do this. Let's comment this code out, and let's do free Friday, all lowercase, and set the day to Friday. It will not say $0. But if we turn on this with comment it back in, and we run it, and we type in free Friday and set the day to Friday, it will work. Okay, so that was not too much work to make it a little bit slightly better. Yeah, and I forgot that in text mode, you can just start typing stuff in and it will give you things, which is pretty common for most text editors. But it's a nice little trick. And I think that's it. We've got our thing working. Yeah, that's it. All right. get it done.